Hi, welcome to my views and news. Three news stories. First one is from the Amhara region, a second one is from Tigray, and third one is about Eritrea. A colonel has been captured by a Fano of fighters. Who is this colonel? Is he a Tigrayan? When did he join the war in when did he join the military operation in the Amhara region? On which front was he captured by Fano fighters? Gradually now videos are coming, by the way, from the Amhara region. Maybe Fano fighters have realized that they'll have to back their claims with evidence. So now pictures, videos are being shared from the Amhara region about PW, etc. Secondly, Amnesty International published a report yesterday about human rights abuses, about sexual violence allegedly committed by Eritrean military after the signing of Pretoria deal. We'll have a look at this report. And thirdly, interesting speech by Afwerki, Eritrean President in Nairobi, Kenya. He attended Africa Climate Summit there, convened by Kenya and Africa Union. The summit was convened to attract or to get investments, grants for green projects, and the investments, grants were promised, were committed by Western organizations and countries. Afwerki clearly opposed this practice of hoping to get dollars in investments from abroad, from the West. What did he say? I have a clip of his speech for you. Firstly, viewers, it seems that a colonel has been captured by Fano fighters. Fano fighters have been claiming to have captured or killed top military officers of ENDF, but so far no evidence. And I think Jula also mocked Fano when he said that they claim that Fano fighters claim that they had killed a general. These are all fake claims. So Fano fighters have been making claims about killing or capturing top ENDF officers, but nothing to substantiate these claims. Now, a video of a picture, not a video, picture of a captured ENDF officer is being shared. It seems that he is in the custody of Fano fighters. Who is he? What is his name? Where is he from? His name is Kiros Alayo. Kiros Alayo is a lieutenant colonel. Reportedly, he was captured by Fano fighters in Gojam. On Gojam, Ago-Avi border, reportedly, he was captured. It seems he's a Tigrayan. I think his name suggests that he is a Tigrayan. And 2 days ago, Fano fighters published a video of a Tigrayan soldier of Ethiopian National Defense Force. That soldier in an interview said that when the war broke out between TDF and ENDF, he was arrested. He was not part of the war, he was part of ENDF, but he was arrested and put in prison because there were fears that these Tigrayan-speaking members of ENDF could support TDF. So for 2 years, he remained in prison, released, and then he was deployed to fight in the Amhara region. Same could be the story of this colonel. Kiros Alayo is not from TDF. While Fano factions keep on claiming that Tigray leaders are part of the military operation against Amhara Fano, we have no evidence so far. Yes, Tigrayan-speaking members of ENDF are part of the military operation against Fano because they are employees. They are members of Ethiopian National Defense Force. Wherever is ENDF operating, these Tigrinya-speaking members or Amharic-speaking members, they'll have to obey the orders. They cannot violate orders. They cannot, they have to comply with the instructions. If they are told to fight in Amhara region, they'll have to obey these orders. And that is what Tigrinya-speaking members are doing. They are now a part of the military operation, part of the military which is in Amhara region. And ENDF officers are Amhara, mostly, who are leading the operations in Amhara against Fano. I read a video on that. But lower ranks are mostly non-Amhara, Oromo, Tigrayan and southern Ethiopia residents are reportedly in the ranks, lower ranks of ENDF, conducting military operation against a Fano of fighters. Secondly, Amnesty International published a report yesterday stating that Eritrean military allegedly committed sexual violence against women after Pretoria deal. The Pretoria deal was signed in October last year. According to Amnesty, from November last year till January this year, dozens of women were raped in Tigray, in eastern part of Tigray. Amnesty claims that Kokab Siba and Mariam Shavito remained under Eritrean military control, the two towns, after Pretoria deal had been signed. The military withdrew from these towns in January 2023. And from November 2022 till January 3, the military allegedly committed atrocities, sexual violence against women. Amnesty interviewed victims, it interviewed local hospital doctors, and it concludes that 166 women were raped in Kokab Siba in this period. And in entire eastern part of Tigray in this period, more than 2,000 cases of sexual violence were reported in this period. 4-month period. Victims accuse Eritrean military, according to Amnesty. Sexual violence was committed in Tigray, in parts of Amhara too. All parties accused, by the way, in different reports by Amnesty, Human Rights Watch, Eritrean military, ENDF soldiers, Tigray fighters, they were accused of sexual violence. And I have been saying that victims will never get justice. Why? Because all parties are involved. And secondly, there is a slight shift in the reporting by human rights organizations after Pretoria deal. After Pretoria deal, we saw that all reports of human rights abuses which have been produced by these organizations, they only mention Eritrean military. That Eritrean military is involved in human rights abuses or Amhara forces. Now there is no mention of what was done by ENDF or what was done by Tigray fighters in Amhara far regions. So that is why the other side accuses Amnesty and Human Rights Watch of doing selective reporting. Yes, these organizations will keep on issuing reports. For a few days, you will see news stories, analysis. Nothing will happen. UN Commission, Inquiry Commission on Ethiopia, on Tigray, it could not conduct inquiry, investigation which has trust of all parties. And nothing happened after the conclusion of the inquiry. The inquiry is still ongoing and the Commission's mandate is going to come under discussions this month. It means that basically nothing is happening in terms of serving justice. Justice is not being served. Even after the withdrawal of Eritrean military from Tigray, still we are getting reports of mistreatment, harassment of women. No one is taking action. So what is needed is an international mechanism for a comprehensive investigation involving all parties, and then some follow-up action as well. Only investigation is not enough if no action is taken. But so far, no action is taken. No one held accountable so far for grave human rights abuses committed in Tigray, Amhara, and in Afar regions. Lastly, viewers, Isaias Afwerki, Eritrean President, spoke in Nairobi at Africa Climate Summit. It was a very interesting summit. The summit was not organized to consult, to hold discussions about how to reduce greenhouse gas emission. Rather, it was held to attract investment, attract grants, loans from those countries which are major contributors to the greenhouse gas emissions. Their share of greenhouse gas emissions is much more than the share of African countries. Since Africa is a victim of climate change related disasters like droughts and floods, so Africa wants these Western countries to invest, to give grants to African countries in green projects like forest conservation projects, food production projects. Environmentalists are opposing this practice. They say that Africa should put pressure upon West, that West should reduce its greenhouse gas emission share. Isaias Afwerki spoke at this summit and he, in front of his host, William Ruto, Kenyan President, and African Union chairperson, opposed this practice. He said we should not look to receive dollars. We should mobilize our own resources. Why is uranium going to Europe? So we should not be attracted by the commitment of billions of dollars because this aid is coming with a cost. Isaias Afwerki's government has been opposing aid. USAID is banned in Eritrea. Though Eritrea receives aid, I think it is in talks with African Development Bank. African Development Bank gets support from Western institutions. So indirectly Eritrea gets aid, but obviously Eritrea is not heavily reliant on foreign aid for its economy. Maybe that is why Isaias Afwerki was very vocal against the very objective of the holding of the summit. Objective was to get dollars from the West, and Isaias Afwerki opposed it. Take a listen to what he said in Nairobi. Thanks for watching.
Excellencies, heads of state, the government, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me first to express our gratitude to President William Ruto for hosting the African Climate Summit and for the warm hospitality accorded to us. May I remind this August gathering that Africa mobilized its own resources rather than extend hands for handouts that may aggravate the existing situation by inviting interference and corrupt practices, while mobilizing our own resources will be enabling and motivating creativity at the level of the continent. I urge everyone to not be attracted by the billions that are being promised by so-called donors. Rather, we would like to mobilize our own resources and get away from this dependency that will definitely compromise everything at the level of the continent. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.